Evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be with you again tonight. Good evening, Titi. Good evening, Fermi. You're welcome. Thank you for joining the call again tonight. And so we will start up immediately. And I had to turn on my video so that people could see my face. I know you know my face already, since we'll have this on the YouTube channel. So I'll stop the video now because of the connectivity issues. Thank you. So Titi and Femi, you are not new. So I would say the training transfer effectiveness journey continues for you. So why I always have this continues and begins is because we also have people that are just joining in for the first time. And so for those that are just joining in for the first time, we want to tell them the training transfer effectiveness journey begins for them. But for those of you that have been joining us, it continues for you. And so you already know, so this is what we've been treating for the past 4 weeks. This is the 4th week. We've been talking about the 5 critical organizational factors that impact performance. And what does this factors? I'll just reiterate it again. So these factors, they represent the essential ecosystem that makes training effective. So 5 of them form the foundation. 5 of them form the foundation for real performance improvement. So it's not about delivering content, which is during. It's not about creating the right conditions. It's that they cannot just be individual. It must be integrated. 5 of them must come to play. So as you deliver great content, as you create the right condition for learning to be applied, as you ensure that even the employees, they are ready to even attend that training, as you ensure that you have the systems, the work tools, the processes that support the change, as you ensure that you have line managers that can reinforce what is learned. So 5 of these coming together would help to ensure that training is effective. And so that's why I called it the essential ecosystem that makes training effective. And so that's what, today we are going to be looking at the trainer. So we've done the 3 last week. Last 2 weeks, last week we did the line manager. Last 2 weeks we did the process. Last 3 weeks we did the employee. So today we'll be looking at the 4th factor, which is the trainer. So once again, I say welcome. So glad you are here. Please introduce yourselves. Use the chat box to introduce yourselves. I know that I saw some persons that just joined in. Felicity, welcome. Kasaga Stephen, welcome. So please kindly introduce yourself in the chat box. Tell us where you are joining in from and where you're joining in from. That's the country you're joining in from and what's your role. The country you're joining in for and what's your role. We already have Titi and Femi that are old members, let me put it like that. So please do that. And this is me. I think Felicity is just joining for first time. I'm not too sure again. I can't remember again. And so this is just a bit about me. Okay, Stephen Kasaga is joining from Uganda. You're a trainer. Welcome, Stephen. Is this your first time of joining the webinar? Felicity, also, is this your first time of joining the webinar? So that I would know how to ensure that you also flow through. So this is me. My name is Sandra Henacho, aka the Oracle. I'm also known as a training transfer effectiveness advocate. Okay. Stephen says, yes, it's my first time. Okay, Stephen and Felicity. Okay, Stephen says he's been following us on the YouTube. Thank you so much, Stephen. Felicity says it's my first time joining from Nairobi. She's a learning and development specialist. Welcome. Okay, because of you're joining for the first time, let me introduce myself. This is me, Sandra Iheanacho, a training transfer effectiveness advocate. Let me also just turn on my video so you could place a face to my name. So this is my face. I turned off the video because of connectivity issues. So this is my face. Thank you. I'm in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm an ex-banker, the CEO of Mbran Consulting Limited, mother of 5 children. I'm international an IFC Global Master Trainer. IFC is the International Finance Corporation Global Master Trainer. I'm also a certified assessor with the Learning Performance Institute, the LPI. I'm a transfer enabler for Africa, which is for the Institute for Transfer Effectiveness, which is what we are doing, which is what I'm advocating for training transfer effectiveness in Africa. I'm also the Nigerian's first certified transfer designer, also from the same institute, Institute for Transfer Effectiveness. I'm a resource person with the Lagos Business School here in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm a certified transformational coach. I'm a certified team and group coach. I'm a certified Kirkpatrick professional. I'm a teacher and trainer for over 26 years, both formally and informally. And because I always say, the moment you stop learning, you start dying. I never stop learning. These are certifications I want to also take very, very soon. So that's just a bit about myself. And I see new persons joining. Welcome. You will have to watch the videos because it's a continuation. So I will not be able to go back to ensure that we finish at 8 p.m. on the dot without delaying those that have been joining in. So please ensure you go to our YouTube. Something will drop on the chat box, our YouTube channel. Please go to the YouTube, just like Stephen has been doing. Watch all the videos. It will help you and you'll follow through. So this week, we are talking about same thing we've been talking about for the past 3 weeks. This is the 4th week, the 5 critical organizational factors that impact performance. So in our training transfer effectiveness series, we've explored, these are what we've explored. First of all, which I've always said, I said it last week, last 2 weeks and last week, training transfer doesn't happen in isolation. It cannot happen on its own. So training transfer effectiveness happens together with the structures, the employee, the workplace, the line manager, the trainer. All those things must be put together. They are the ecosystem that ensures that training transfer effectiveness does happen. And so in our series of webinars, we've explored the employee, which had to do with how we are sure the employee is ready to even attend the training mentally, emotionally, physically. The employee is motivated. He or she is motivated to attend the training. They have that capability to apply the learning. We've looked at the process. The process has to do with the workflows, the procedures and systems that impact performance. We have also last week we looked at the line manager. The line manager is what I call they are the art of training transfer effectiveness. They are the ones that create the climate that encourages learning application, the follow through and the continuous growth. So today we are diving into the trainer. We're going to be looking at the trainer, and the trainer here, we're looking at both internal trainers and external trainer. So these are what we call the critical success factors. Now we start with the case study. I love case studies. Yeah, I love case studies. So we're going to use a case study. We used the case study last week. Today we are using a case study again. We are going to be looking at the trainer. So some organizations, they have what we call in-house faculty, whereby the HR, and not just the HR, even some people cut across from various departments are the faculty, the trainers. And so if you do have that in your organizations, that is what we call the internal faculty, internal trainers. Then the external trainers are the people you invite, maybe organizations you invite to come to train your staff. So we're looking at the trainer in totality, internal and external trainer. So this is our case study. And for those of you joining us for the first time, the case study is for everyone. So it's fine, I'm the one facilitating the webinar. We try to make it engaging as much as we can within the shortest time we have. So please look at the case study, and I'm going to show you the questions you will delve into it. Now, the case study is on the service excellence training that fell flat. The service excellence training that fell flat. Now, what are we looking at? Why are we talking about the trainer in this one of these critical factors? We are looking at what's the role of the trainer in driving training transfer effectiveness. What's the role of the trainer? And we said for the trainer, their role is to ensure that they drive training transfer effectiveness beyond delivery to real world impact. A lot of trainers focus on just the during, the delivery. They tend not to remember the pre. Some remember the post, but when you don't do the pre, how can the post work? So we're going to be using this case study. So please follow me. Let's go together. An organization contracted a highly rated external consultant to deliver a 2-day service excellence training for 40 front-facing employees across their branches. Now, the internal faculty were also involved as observers, and they were expected to reinforce the learnings post-training. The training was engaging, there was laughter, there was energy, there were group activities. Okay, I see him. Okay. There were group activities and glowing feedback forms after the training. However, what happened? 6 weeks down the line, after the training, 6 weeks after the training, the head of customer experience complained that there was no visible change in service behavior, and customer satisfaction scores even dropped slightly. Take notes, the training was engaging, there was laughter, there was energy, there were group activities, there were glowing feedback forms, and I'm sure the feedback forms were 5/5, 5/5, 5/5, everything was a 5, 5, 5, 5. However, 6 weeks down the line, the head of customer experience is wondering, did you just say we just train people on service excellence? That I cannot see any change in their behavior, their service behavior, and even our customer satisfaction scores has dropped slightly. And you said you did the training, so what exactly happened? Now, when the customer experience manager complained, the HR department or the training department, depending on the department that is handling training in your organization, went on an investigation to find out what exactly happened. And this was what they found out. Some of the staff, the staff said they enjoyed the training, but they were not sure how to apply some of the tips at work. That's what some of the staff said. The managers that were managing those staff now said they did not even know what their employees, their direct reports were taught. The internal trainer said they hadn't followed up because they felt that it was the external consultant that was in charge. So since the external consultant was in charge, they didn't think that they should follow up. Now we're going to do a group reflection now for 10 minutes. What would you say happened in the pre, during, and post phases? What did the trainer miss in each phase? How could the internal and external trainers have worked together? Our time starts now. So it's time for discussion. So now this is not my time to talk, it's now your time. So the floor is open. Anybody, you can unmute your microphone and share. Or if you want to type into chat, you can type into chat. And if you're not sure what the pre, during, and post phases are, please feel free to ask. I'm sure those that have been following know what they are. So if you feel you don't know what it is, please do not shy. Do not shy out of it. Please say, I do not know, and I will just explain that. So this is a case study. Can we start our discussions? The floor is open.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Good evening. Okay. Hi, Joy. Good evening. Yes. Welcome, Joy.
Good evening, everyone. So for me, I would say where the problem is that maybe during the training, what the trainer did not do right could be that he didn't address the issue that was actually happening in the organization. Maybe when he came for the training, he generalized it. It's another thing for you to come and do the training. It's another thing for you to do the training that is affecting the employees themselves, that is not making them work very well. So that's it for me. I felt that he didn't drive home. He didn't drive home the points, the training, the discussion, the issues that were happening. So it's another thing for you to be able to tell the people, okay, this is how customer experience or customer service should be like. It's another thing for you to be able to identify, okay, what exactly are these people, what exactly is the gap, what exactly is the problem. So you design your training to actually solve those problems. So it helps the individuals to actually go back to their work and apply what they have learned on the job. So that's it.
Thank you so much. You're right on point, Joy. So that's for during. Okay, so we still have okay, I see Femi's hand. There's pre and there's post. Yes, Femi, let's hear you.
Okay, so for me, I'm thinking that the pre, it's there definitely was a validation issue. What problem are we trying to solve here? And when we're thinking about what problem we're trying to solve, I believe that survey or some kind of assessment would have been done through the line managers, because the line managers are saying they were not even aware of what had been taught. The employees said they were not sure how to apply. So first, validating, what the needs or what's the objective of that training would be. And then during when you're having a training, you want to also hear from the participants, what are they hoping to get away from here, which is the objective of the training, and then what are the outcomes that we're expecting. So there will be a form of alignment in terms of what you'll be getting and what you'll be applying. Like you always do at your training, what next are you going to do? So I think if there were those clarity at the point of training, then the problem of the participants saying they didn't know how to apply will not be there. So that's
Thank you so much.
Some of my inputs.
Thank you so much, Femi. You're right on point for the pre. So no assessment with the line to even confirm with the line managers what they should be doing. What is the need, validating the objectives of the training. These were not done. Thank you so much. Any other person? Is there any other person? Okay, no other person. Okay, let me go ahead since there's no other person. Now, just to remind us what we talked about, there are 3 phases of training. We have the pre-training, during training, and post-training. And what we found that is, and what I've also found that is, a lot of organizations dwell on during the training. You can see what happened in this one. There was energy, there were activities, they enjoyed it. In their feedback form, they gave the trainer 5/5, and 6 weeks down the line, nothing has changed. Then what now happened? There was a high energy, everyone was happy, they were interested, they enjoyed it, they had fun. What then happened? What we found that is that most times people are having fun in the training. After the training, it is over. When the fun is over, everything goes back to status quo. So just as Femi and Joy pointed out the pre, so I'm going to just point out briefly on the pre, the during, and post, what should have been done here. Now, the pre-training phase is where you decide. It is the foundation of every training. You must intentionally, deliberately work on the pre-phase, which is with the problem they're having here. What exactly was the problem? Did the line manager, what were the objectives? Just like Femi said, what were the objectives of that training? What did the training want to address? What were the issues that they've seen as a business in the employees? What was the knowledge gap or the skill gap that the training needed to address? Where is it also in alignment with the business, where the business is going, even the department where they are going to? You can imagine that the customer experience manager now said he cannot see any change. So meaning that those things were not put in place. The line managers were not even carried along. They did not even know what their employees would be trained on. So you can see that this is very, very key. Pre-training, you must discuss what is the why of the training. Have that conversation with the sponsors, which is the line managers, or they could be the sponsors, the line managers. Have that conversation with the employees. Find out what will they be getting as they go for that training. When they come back, what will change? What is the issue now? Now, when they attend that training, what will change for them? These things must be detailed. So for this case study, pre-phase was either skipped or it was poorly handled. That's my analysis. Pre-training phase was either skipped or it was poorly handled. Now the during, just like Joy and Femi also noted, the during, the staff, they enjoyed the training. But how come they enjoyed the training and they were not sure how to apply some of the tips at work? Why? So it means that they were just shouting, laughing. Maybe the external trainer was a motivational speaker and said, you must be motivated to be motivated. You know, I don't know all these motivational speakers, all the things they say, because I'm not a motivational speaker. You know, you must aspire to perspire. So maybe those are the things the trainer was saying and they were enjoying it and having fun. And yet, they did not even know what to apply. So the delivery was fun, but it was disconnected from the reality on the job. The learners left without an application path. What we will do when we leave this training? If we leave this training today, what are we going to do? What will be different from us? It's also possible that there was not even real case studies, just like Joy pointed out, in line with the challenges they are facing. And maybe the trainer just did just gave general examples and all that. It will not work because you've not addressed their problem. So the dream phase had strong engagement. Yes, we saw it. However, when it comes to the application, what the employees will apply when they get back to the organization, it was very weak. Now, the post-training. Post-training was completely absent. Yes. The internal trainers did not follow up with the external consultant because they felt that the external consultant was in charge. That is a no-no. The managers were not involved. That is a no-no. There was no follow-up mechanism that were put in place. Okay, when they are leaving this training, what should we expect them to be doing in a week's time, in 2 weeks' time, in a month's time, in 6 weeks' time, in 8 weeks' time? There was nothing like that. No ownership, no post-training reinforcement, nothing. The learners left without accountability. The learners left without no support, no coaching from their line managers. So you see that the post-training phase was completely missing. And you will agree with me, this is what is happening in lots of organizations. They do not have post-training embedded in their training. They do not even have pre-training and post-training embedded in their training. What they have during training. So this clearly shows, and one of the models, so what we've been using as a business, the company where I work, M. Brand Consulting Limited, we came up with 2 models, which is what we've been using. We've talked about the very first one. If you check our videos on YouTube, you see it, the needs validation process model. Our second model we came up with is what we call the pre-training, during training, and post-training transfer effectiveness model, short, the PDP model. That is what we are using now to explain this. So this shows that in the PDP model that there was no alignment. There was no alignment. No pre, no a bit of during, which is the energy, not no post, which is a grave problem. And this is our analysis. So you can see that how the lack of pre-training, during training, and post-training, what it can cost to your organization. So what happened to that organization? It was a waste of resources. Waste of organization resources, waste of the employees' time, waste of the HR team's time, waste of even the external trainers' time. Everyone in that value chain, their time were wasted. Is that what you want to start seeing? Don't you want there to be a change when it comes to your training initiatives? Don't you want to show return on investment for your training initiatives? Don't you want to show no return and expectations for your training initiatives? If you do not do your pre-well, doing well and post-well, I bet you, quote me anywhere, you will never see an ROI and ROE of your training initiative. Quote me anywhere. And what are we saying that's happened to that business is what I coined training scrap. Training scrap. Training scrap is that portion of training that was done that was not applied in the workplace. That's what training scrap is. So you can see how money was just wasted down the drain. So it is not enough to deliver a good session. It is not enough to hear people shouting and rejoicing during training. No, that ends today. Let's stop that. It's not enough to do that. Without preparation, without real world relevance, without post-training support, post-coaching support, accountability support, nothing will change. Training will continue to be an event, not a transformation. I will take that again. Without preparation, which is pre, without real world relevance, which is during, without post-training support, coaching, accountability, training will continue to be just an event for your organization, for your business. Training will never be a transformation. So you can see why this is very important. This is very key. Okay, please feel free to ask questions. If you have any question, just drop into chat, and if you want to ask, you can raise up your virtual hand and I will call you. Please feel free to ask questions as we move along. Now, this is the pre-training setup. What trainers must do. I'm just going to share with you some of it. It's much more than this. It's a whole lot. I want to just share just some of it for you. One, this is one thing every trainer should do. Are you an internal trainer or an external trainer? You must understand the learner's role and workplace context. When I say understand the learner's role, I don't mean you should understand the work the learner is doing. You should understand, for instance, the customer service people we're talking about. What exactly were they trying to solve? What were their role that they had to be sent on that training? Was it that they were not giving quick response? You must define that objective. Not just say come for customer service training. No. What is the challenge? Is it that their response to customers is delayed? Maybe the response time is supposed to be 48 hours, they are doing 72 hours. You can measure that. Is it that how they speak to their clients, their tone, the tone of voice they use in speaking to the customers, or let's use the tone of voice, or even the non-verbal communication? What exactly is it? You must define that so that when you want to evaluate, you know what you're evaluating. The next thing you should take note of is co-design the content with the stakeholders. Do not design it in absence of the stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders? The stakeholders are the training sponsors and the HR and the line manager. So sometimes the training sponsors may not be the line managers. So if the training sponsors are not the line managers, training sponsors are those that said, I want to send this people on training. Have that conversation with them and design that training in line with them. With the training sponsors, the stakeholders, which are the stakeholders, the HR and the line managers. Include pre-training activities, assessment, expectation setting, objectives. This is very key. Align on success metrics. What do we want to see that will change the needle, that will move the needle? This is where we have return on expectation, the performance outcomes. What do you want to see? What behavior do you want to see change? I will give a very clear example with one of the businesses, one of the organizations we ran training for. And what they said is, which was the supervisor, this was a service technician. Supervisor said, I want to see them submitting their report within 24 hours after they finish from the client's place, because they were on site. After they finish, within 24 hours, 12 a.m. the next day, they should submit their report. You can measure that. Anybody that submits the report as 12:01, the person did not submit the report now at the right time. So you must be very clear. What are those outcomes you want to see, the performance outcomes you want to see? So transfer starts with how the training is framed, not when the slides begin. When the slides is not when the slides begin. It is how the training is framed. What do you want to see change? What do you want to see? So now let's look at the during training, the experience, what trainers must focus on. During training is experience. So what must trainers focus on? Make your content practical and job focused, not like this external trainer. Let your training, your content be practical, let it be job focused, related to the people that are coming for the training. Use real scenarios, not abstract case studies. For us as a business, what we do is we relate the case studies, we develop the case studies from the issues of the people that are coming for the training. So there was one training we did, and after the discussion, so of course before we do training, we follow all this process we are telling you. We meet with the training sponsors, then we meet with the employees that were earmarked for the training. We meet with them. Now, from all those conversations, we get what their pain points are, and we created a case study. Guess what happened? During the training, the employees were calling themselves. One said, Felicity, that is you they are talking about. That is you in that place. One said, Sandra, that is you. Another said, Stephen, that is you. They were calling out themselves in the case study. And of course, we did not know who they were. We did not know their names. We did not know anything about them. We just used their problems and created a case study. And so they could understand, they could feel, what's that word? I can't get the right English, but they could understand what we're doing, and they were very glad because they could relate it. That's a word. They could relate it to what was happening in the organization. Okay, so let me move faster. Design for engagement and reflection, whereby people will be engaged and reflect on what they're learning. Begin transfer planning during the session. What does transfer planning mean? Transfer planning is one of the things in Dr. Ina Webuhem. She's the brain behind the certification I when I started introducing myself and this institute I belong to. She came after 100 years of research and all that. She came up with what we call the 12 levers of transfer effectiveness. Very powerful. I've been using it. I'm using it for my class, and I'm advocating that people should use it. I even get certified. And she talked about, so transfer planning is what would they start doing even before they leave. So some people, before they leave the training room, they've already decided this is what I'll start doing. Why? As they leave, they say, in 2 days time, this is what I'm going to do. Next week, this is what I'm going to do. Some will say, I'm going to put reminders on my laptop that will be popping up to remind me. So this is what we call transfer planning. Some said, like one of the trainings we also did, we facilitated, they formed a song. Can you imagine that? Can you beat that? From the issues in the organization, they made a song. So they said they will be playing the song to remind themselves that this is where they don't want to be again. This is where they want to go to. So let me tell you, these employees are very innovative. Create a room for them to be innovative, and they will come up with things that would help them. Then last but not the least is, as a trainer, the experience, involve managers. Involve the managers. If the managers are maybe in another region, through letters, through emails, through videos, right? Through videos. Every exercise should have, where will you use this at work? Where will you use this at work? Every exercise. Now, let me give you a tidbit, because for IFC, this is what we also do. I teach during what you should do during the training. Now, for every objective, there must be an activity. For every objective, there must be an activity. You cannot do an activity outside an objective. No. Your activities must be tied to your objective. So let's move ahead. Now we go to the post. Post has to do with the reinforcement. What is expected from the trainer, the reinforcement, and this is it. Share a transfer guide and a checklist. The checklist of what the people have said they want to do. Share it. Recommend post-training nudges or follow-ups, just like what I was talking about. Provide support tools, job aids, check-ins. provide support tools and job aids that will help them to do what they are doing. Now, a job aid can be a template. Maybe if, like those customer service people now, if it's how to respond to an irate client, they already have a template. For you to respond to an irate client, the first thing, when you see that the client is shouting, pause, take a deep breath, count 10 seconds, and respond. Note, when responding, respond with a clear tone. Do not respond with a heightened tone. So you can see this is what you're showing them. They can use that to always have, okay, this is what we are supposed to do. So create job aids, check-ins, design evaluation feedback that goes beyond smile sheets, all those smiling sheets. And last but not the least, collaborate with internal faculty to track application. The trainer may be done delivering, which is the external trainer, but the job isn't done if transfer hasn't happened. Transfer must happen. So what are the key takeaways from this case study? What are the key takeaways from this case study? These are our key takeaways from the case study. Training transfer effectiveness doesn't happen by accident. I will take that again. Training transfer effectiveness doesn't happen by accident. You want to have a training transfer effectiveness? You want to have a return on investment and return expectation for every of your training initiative? It is deliberate. It is intentional. It is consistent. It doesn't happen by accident. It cannot happen by accident. In this case, despite an engaging session, the lack of preparation before training, the poor connection to the real job roles during delivery, and the complete absence of post-training support meant that what was learned was never ever translated into performance. And this is my note to trainers. HR people, I'm sure you're here. You're hearing me. Even if you're not a trainer, you have trainers. You also know of external trainers you call to work for you. Trainers, whether they are internal trainers or external, must take ownership of all three phases. If your external trainers have not been doing these phases, at least after this webinar, you hold them to account. What's that word? You must hold them to bear that they must do these phases. That's when you will know if they know it or not. Some of them don't know it. So if they don't know it, they should go and learn it, so that you hold them accountable. They must go through these phases: the pre-phase, the pre-training phase, the during training phase, and the post-training phase. Any trainer that doesn't go through this phase, just know that the trainer doesn't know totally what he or she is doing. He or she must go through this phase. And I say, the applause in the training room means nothing. I will take that again. The applause, the shout and the energy and everything in the training room means nothing if there is silence at the point of performance. I will take that again. And that's my quote. The applause in the training room means nothing if there is silence at the point of performance. Training scrap, wasted money, and that's why management will they will never give you a seat at the table. When you want to sit at the table, they remove the chair, you will fall down. They will not invite you to strategic sessions. They will not invite you to come and speak. They will take decisions behind your back. When they need to cut budget, they will come to training budget. Who does that? You don't touch training budget. Even in the high times, that is when you should train your employees. But why are they doing that? Because you as the HR, you've not shown them the reason not to do that. So the onus lies on you as the HR person, as the L&D person. Show your business the need for them to never ever touch training budgets. When they want to cut costs, they will go to other departments and other areas. They will not come near to HR and come to training. It is your duty to do that, and it's left for you to do that. Is it being done? Yes, it is being done. Can you do it? Yes, you can do it. It all depends on you. Are you ready to do it? So I want to give you some practical tips for trainers. A trainer's transfer checklist. Did I co-create with the HR or line managers? Did I design with transfer in mind? I'm sure you did not. Did I embed the PDP elements? Did I leave behind tools for applications? Did I define what success looks like? I'm sure you did not do some of these things. A lot of them don't do it. Now, a reflection for you, what I call the mirror moment. It's not your moment now. Please, we're going to do this reflection together. You type on the chat box on this. Think of the last training you delivered or witnessed or were involved in as an HR person or as an L&D or as a trainer. For each of the phase, pre-phase, pre-training phase, during training phase and post-training phase, please ask yourself this question. In the pre-training phase, did you prepare the learners and align with their line managers? It's time, it's called the mirror moment, reflective activity. Please don't be shy to type into chat. You either type yes or no, or you use the good tick is yes, the X is no. It's an activity. Let's do this together so that we'll wrap up and ensure we do not stay much more than 8 p.m. Let me check the chat box. I'm not seeing anything in chat box. Can you all hear me? Are we all still together? Are we together? Okay, let me see something in chat. Someone says, okay. Yes, we are. Joy says, yes, we are. Okay, now you should answer the question now. Felicity says, yes. Wow, that's great. So you prepare the learners and align them with their line managers. Awesome. Okay, let me ask the next one. Femi says no. Okay, thank you so much. So let me ask the next one. Please continue to put that up. Did the trainer understand the business context? Either the internal trainer or the external trainer. Did they understand the business context? Did they understand the business context? We have like 9 people in this room. It's only Felicity and okay, Kemi has joined. Joy has joined. Thank you, Joy. Joy says no. Okay. Any other person? Femi and Felicity. Did the trainer understand the business context? Any other person? Not just these 3 people. We are all together. That's why we are here. Let's participate. I know you may be shy. Says Sandra, I'm putting you on the hot seat. No, not that I'm putting you on. We are learning. That's why you are here, to learn. No response. Okay, let me move ahead because of time. They are not responding again. Okay. Let's look at the during training. Was the session designed around real work task? Anybody that wants to respond to that, let me see. Was the session designed around real world tasks? What your employees are doing, the challenges they are facing, was the session designed around that? Pacifica says no. Thank you so much, Pacifica. Joy says yes. Awesome, great. Okay, so let's continue. If I just get one person responding to me, I'm fine. Did the learners walk away knowing how to apply what they learned? Did the learners walk away from that training knowing how to apply what they learned? If I get one response, I'm fine. I'll move ahead. Did the learners walk away? No. Joy says no. Thank you so much, Joy. Pacifica says not at all. Thank you so much. Okay. You can see where the problem is. I'm sure you're seeing your problem now. Someone else said, I just saw another message. Femi says no. You see? Can you see that there's no how your organization will get return on investment or return on expectation for their training initiatives? So let's go to, I'm just asking a few questions. They are much more than this. Let's go to post-training. What follow-up actions were in place? What were the follow-up actions in place? So after this training, what next for them? What was the next for them? Were they follow-up actions? So let me ask it like this so that we can have a yes or no. None. Oh. Yorubas in my country. I'm from Nigeria. Yorubas in my country is a tribe in my country. They will say Ebamio. I think Ebamio means, please, Femi, what does Ebamio mean? I can't remember. What does Femi? You can unmute your microphone. What does Ebamio mean?
Help me.
Help
Save
me.
me. Save me.
Save me. Save me, oh. Femi says no. Joy says no. Hey, save me, please. People, save me. Let me move ahead. Thank you to Samson says help me. So there are no follow-up actions. Nothing were put in place. Let me ask the last one. Who took responsibility for supporting the learners after the session? Let me ask, did anybody take responsibility for supporting the learners after the session? Joy, I'm coming to you. I see your hands up. Let me just take this last question, then I will call you to speak. Did anybody take responsibility for supporting the learners? Did anybody take responsibility for supporting the learners after the session? I see something on. No, nobody. Joy says nobody. Okay, let me allow Joy to speak. Before I allow Joy to speak, please permit me. Maybe we should extend this class instead of ending at 8 p.m. Maybe we should extend like 15 minutes so I don't need to be begging you every week. So maybe we should extend the class from 7 p.m. to 8:15 so that we could, because I love us. I could just come here and dish out everything for you, but you would not gain anything. So I believe in interacting with you, using case studies and explaining all those things to make it more relatable for you. So maybe we would extend the class to maybe 8:15 or 8:30. So please permit me. Joy, I see your hands up. Over to you, Joy. Okay, Joy, Pacifica says, should have been the supervisor or manager, but this was not done. No problem, Femi. You'll catch up the recording. That's fine. Thank you, Femi. Joy, please, over to you.
Okay. So what I wanted to say regarding this pre, during, and post training is that one thing I noticed is that if you get it wrong at the pre-training, forget it. It will go wrong everywhere. If you get it wrong at during training, you're not getting your ROI, and if you get it wrong at post training, you're not getting your. So what the question I wanted to ask is, regarding this post training, you said what follow-up actions were in place. So there's something we do regarding our feedback. So after the training, we send out feedback questionnaires to the participants, as to staff, to fill the feedback list. So one particular question I put in my feedback question is what initiative would you bring on board as a result of this training? Like just say one thing that you would do differently as a result of this training. So
can I pause you? Can I ask you a question? Okay. Now,
yes, please.
Did you design something during the pre to be able to for them to be able to answer this during the post?
No, we didn't design anything during the pre.
Then they will just come up with anything for you.
Okay.
If you had designed something pre, so in post and pre, we said what is the one thing you would want to work on? They'll say, okay, I want to be able to work on how I delegate. Maybe it was a leadership training and they felt that the leader doesn't delegate. Now, post, you said in the pre that you're going to delegate more, and we will define what that more means. How has it happened now? So can you see that you are able to, so you evaluate what you measure. If you did not measure, what are you evaluating? So you must always measure at the pre in order for you to evaluate at the post.
Okay.
So this question you just give them, they'll just come up with something beautiful, anything beautiful. And is that tied to what we want to solve as a business? Because they could come up with beautiful, innovative answers, but is it solving the problem of why they were sent on that training? It may not solve that problem.
Okay.
Does that help you?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, so let's move ahead. So I'm taking permission from you people. Please let me please on the chat box, if you want to give me extra 15-20 minutes, please say, Sandra, yes, you can go ahead. If not, say no. Then I think we'll have to review, myself and Samson, we'll have to review the time to ensure that we don't keep begging for time every time. Thank you so much, Joy. I can see Joy say, yes, you can go. Thank you so much, Joy. Thank you. So we're wrapping up though. So you can see, I'm going to give time for more questions. You can see what is happening. Now let me show you let me ask now, what phase of the PDP model do you usually miss? What phase of the PDP model do you usually miss? Those on the call. We have the pre, We have the during and we have the post. Which one do you usually miss? Okay, Joyce says the pre. Thank you so much. Any other person? Okay, I said only one person. I will go ahead. Please feel free to type. I will check it. Okay, I see someone else says post. Pacifica says post. Oh, so Pacifica, I would like to hear what you do. So that means you do the pre well. Maybe I will allow you. So during questions, I will allow you to unmute your microphone to speak. That means you do the pre very well. Let's hear what you do. Awesome. So let's move ahead. Now, are you guilty of just being a great deliverer? How will you adjust your trainer onboarding process? Now, I'm sure you asked me, what does a trainer onboarding process mean? I don't know. Is there anybody that knows what a trainer onboarding process is? Is there anybody that wants to? If you don't have an idea, of course, definitely I will tell you. Trainers aren't, I will tell you. So let's just work on this. So trainers aren't just facilitators. We are architects of application. We must stay accountable across all three phases, which is the pre-phase, the during phase, and the post phase. I'll take that again. Trainers aren't just facilitators. No, we are not just facilitators. We are facilitators during, but we are not just facilitators. We must stay accountable across all three phases, which is the pre-phase, the during phase, and the post phase. Now, let me show you what the trainer onboarding typically looks like. You know, I talked about the trainer onboard. This is what it looks like. This is what a lot of organizations. And please tell me, yes, Sandra, I agree with you. Most organizations onboard their trainers by, so for example, when you get external trainers to train for you, you give them the topic to teach. True or false? Yes or no? Please type on chat. You give them the topic to teach. Let's do this together. You give them the topic to teach. Yes, awesome. Thank you very much. You share the audience profile. Yeah. You share the audience profile. Yes, no. Okay, you don't. Okay, let's move ahead. You agree on date and venue. Okay, yes, thank you. Maybe sometimes you share some slides or expectations. Some organizations do that. You share some slides or expectations, right? Maybe. And that is it. Is there any other thing you do out of this? I want to hear. Is there any other thing you do out of this? Is there anybody that wants to share with us? Expectations, okay. Which is still the same thing. So expectation, you talk about the expectations, yeah? That's part of the profile. Comes under audience profile. You talk about the expectations and all that. That's part of the audience profile. Audience profile doesn't mean it's not just okay. This is the cadre. This is what and all that. Okay, I see Pacifica's hand. Oh, Pacifica, please unmute your microphone.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome.
In terms of sharing the audience profile, sometimes we miss to mention the departments, because let's say it's a soft skill course or maybe customer service. I imagine it's fair for us to mention, this will be people from the stores, there will be people from, the shop floor. So I imagine we also need those details to the trainer. Or if we are the trainers, we need to receive information.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. And I see Joyce says we fix a meeting with the line manager and the trainer. Beautiful. That's great. That's a good one, Joy. Yeah, that's a good one. So, this is what a lot of businesses, organizations do. Now, do you know the problem with that? Let me show you again. You can even take a snapshot. This kind of onboarding prepares trainers to only deliver sessions and not to drive behavior change. Yeah. it prepares your trainers, are they internal trainers or external trainers, to only deliver a session, not to drive behavior change. Remember, your training is supposed to move the needle, drive behavioral change in order for you to see return on expectation and return on investment for that training. So this onboarding, typically, what does it do? It leaves trainers unaware. Okay, what exactly does the business want to solve? What's the problem? What business problem is the training solving? What behaviors do we need to change post-training? Who is going to reinforce this to ensure that those behaviors are being reinforced? How will success be measured? How will we even know we've been successful? I see a message on the true. Titi, thank you so much, Titi. Okay. But this is what we should have. This is what a transfer-focused onboarding process should be. 1, the context briefing. Share the business needs, the performance gaps, and expected outcomes, not just topics. I'm not talking about just the topics. Share the business need, share the performance gaps, share the expected outcomes. The PDP role clarity. You know what the PDP already is, right? The pre-training, the during training, and the post-training. Let it be clear. Let the trainer know what is expected before the training, such as pre-work, goal setting with the learners, meeting with the employees earmarked for training, meeting with the training sponsors, meeting with the stakeholders. Let the trainer know that what is expected. Let the trainer know what should happen during the training. It should be transfer focused design. There should be action planning. It should have real case studies aligned with the problems the employees are facing. Then let the trainer know that what post-training support will be in place and their role in it. These things are very critical. Let's look at the third one. We're wrapping up, please. Let's look at the third one. Alignment with line managers. Involve the trainer in aligning their content with managers' expectations and the workplace realities. Transfer tools discussion. Discuss what are the transfer tools we should have. Are there follow-up guides? Are there coaching questions? Are there job aids that the trainer can provide to help the application after the session? I'm giving you examples of job aids. You can have another job aids like posters, desk vextrals, digital nudges, schedule. LMS will just pop on and say, apply your micro reminders reminding you that you're supposed to do this. Even the templates for SMART goals. So there are different job aids you can use. And last but not the least, the success metrics. You cannot do without this. Define how success will be evaluated beyond the participant satisfaction. I am tired of seeing level 1 and level 2. Also, I'm a Kirkpatrick certified professional. So we have what we call levels of evaluation. So level 1 and level 2. We are tired of seeing how was the venue, how was the food, how did you like the trainer? No, that will not give us return on investment or return on expectations. No, we don't. It's a good to have, but that's not what is important. Let us define success, how success will be evaluated to include return on expectation and performance measures. Please, L&D HR, stop being operational. Stop treating training as an event. Become strategic. Treat training as a strategic business tool. Treat training as a business concern, not as an event. If you are bringing in a trainer next month, let me ask now, what will you do differently after today's session? If you're going to bring in a trainer to train, so start typing into chat. We're wrapping up already. So if you're going to bring a trainer next month, or yes, next month because this month is over, what would you do differently after today's session to set them up, not just to deliver and come and make your people happy and smile and shout and disturb the whole organization, but to ensure that your people will apply what they learn? Let me check the chat box. What will you do differently? Are there things in the chat box? A lot, oh. Joy says a lot. Okay, thank you so much, Joy. I say if I hear from one person, I'll move ahead so that I don't waste our time. Okay, thank you so much, Joy. Please still be typing into chat. I'll be looking at it. What will you do differently? And in conclusion, this is a quote. I always give a quote after all my sessions. A trainer's true success isn't measured by the applause in the room, but by performance on the job. Design for the transfer, not just the delivery. My second quote, the best trainers don't just teach, they transform. Do your trainers transform? Their real legacy is not what is said in class, but what is done at the workplace. And these are my quotes by Sandra the Oracle, the Training Transfer Effectiveness Advocate. I see a chat. Okay, Titi says, proper and detailed engagement with the trainer. Thank you so much, Titi. Thank you so much. What's your next line of action as a result of this session? What's your next line of action? My next line of action. What's your next line of action? What's your next line of action? Joyce says the discussion with the trainer during the pre-training stage will change. Focus more on strategic change. Awesome. I love this. I'm clapping for you, Joy. So what's your next line of action? Why I allow you to type into chat, let me just continue. Are there questions you have now? Let me know. Let me continue because I'm going to end at 8:15. I have an announcement, a very exciting announcement to give you. We have the Mastermind program. It is out. Yes. So we designed the community well, but it's the M Brand Consulting. We designed a mastermind clients for directors and managers in HR and L&D and training. People want to go beyond just delivering training. Rather, people want to start seeing real impact in their workplace. So it's a structured peer learning experience where you will get hands-on coaching, accountability to implement training transfer effectiveness strategies for all your training initiative. I mean all. Access to exclusive case studies, models, frameworks, and tools, and working with a network of like-minded professionals solving real training challenges. So if you want to move training from an event to turn training, move training to training that transforms performance, this is for you. So we have the next cohort starting, is being launching on Tuesday, May 6th. From 7 is an 18 weeks program. It runs for 5 months from May to September, and the method will be virtual. So send me a message or drop a comment on my social media or send me an email and I will share more details. Let's make training work for your business, not just for your budget. And I see something on the chat box. In the chat box, Joy says, my next line of action is to review the 3 stages PDP. Thank you so much, Joy. That is awesome. Thank you so much. And last but not the least, do not miss this conference coming up in Lagos, Nigeria. It's called the International Training Transfer Effectiveness Conference. It's going to be holding November 13 and 14, 2025 at the Lagos Oriental Hotel in Victoria Island, Lagos. It is a conference that's never been held before. No conference has ever been held in Nigeria, Africa, or globally on training transfer effectiveness. So this is the first. Do not miss it. It's going to be a hybrid conference. So if you want to attend the conference, go and sign up. Go to our website. These are some of the speakers. We have over 22 speakers from across the globe. Here are some of the speakers and there are more to unveil that will be speaking. We have people coming in from like Melanie Martinelli. She's the CEO of the Institute of Transfer Effectiveness. She's the keynote speaker coming all the way from Switzerland. We have Tom Meyer. He's the director of the Center for Accelerated Learning, which we're already partnering with. He's coming all the way from Chicago, and many more. And these are other things we would have there. It's a 2-day hands-on conference with industry experts across the globe, expert-led sessions, networking opportunities, coffee breaks and meals, and we're going to be unveiling our book, From Training to Transformation. And we have exclusive discounts on a lot of international certifications for only the iTech attendees alone. We have the Certified Transfer Designer by the Institute for Transfer Effectiveness, which is where I am the transfer enabler. We have the Kirkpatrick Bronze certification by the Kirkpatrick Partners, which I'm also a certified bronze first level. We have the Accelerated Learning certification workshop by the Center for Accelerated Learning. This is also I told you I want to be certified on. This is something I'm going to do before then. We also have the IFC LPI TPMA trainer certification by the International Finance Corporation and the Learning Performance Institute. Check this out online. They are in thousands of dollars. But because you're going to be an attendee, you will have a huge discount. So go to our website and sign on. Tell us your action plan. What are you going to try out? One practical thing you're going to try out this week that you will share with us next week. One thing you try out this week that you share with us next week. In conclusion, old ways won't open new doors. Yeah, success doesn't come cheap. It comes with hard work. Are you willing to pay the price for success? The choice is just now. What will it be? And on this note, finally, I want to say, be happy and feel good about yourself always. Thank you. And once again, this is me, Coach Sandra Iheanacho, aka The Oracle, the Training Transfer Effectiveness Advocate. That's my LinkedIn, that's my IG, that's my X. I hardly use X, by the way, and that's my email. I will stop sharing. On this note, thank you so much.